don't we ask again together the elephant in the room? 2 questions. Let's ask the elephant in the room 2 questions. Don't you want? What are those 2 questions we should ask the elephant in the room? I'm telling you right now, the one is, of course, about the behavior of your coworker, and all these exchange concerning remote work from anywhere, including outside of the country, not work from home, because your home could be anywhere right now. Don't you agree? And the second question we should ask the elephant in the room about this great resignation that existed before this crisis that we are in. We are all in it together, huh? We're going to see today. So freedom of choice, freedom of medical procedure, as well as invitation-based change with the decision rights on freedom of movement, personal security, trusting and enforcing responsibility of individual to live in togetherness. What say you guys? What say you? Tell me in the comment your thought about these 2 questions that we should ask the elephant in the room. And also, I would like to have your attention in this age of Agile. This age of Agile and decentralized distributed workforce is here and now. So goodbye, old world. Welcome new ways and the new world of work that we should build together. I dare you to tell me I am right or wrong. It's not a question of wanting to be right or wrong. So I'd like to today make a little special, and we're going to start by playing you a little video, a surprise video, an unexpected or unscripted Friday Live Agile that we do here. So, and stay there, because after we start the show about this great resignation and building freedom at work. Let's do this. Yeah. So again, a lot of okay. Yeah. So again, so let's start over a little bit to let people in this experimentation live, having an event on LinkedIn. Because apparently this beta mode of LinkedIn totally failed. So thank you again, Microsoft. You're always good with the blue screen. I remember back in the day, the blue screen. So are you there, guys? Because there's apparently 10 people who's watching right now. So I'm giving you also the YouTube link if you want a better experience. So let's see, because even the chat is not working. Yes, sound. Yes, I know. Thank you, Maurice. It's incredible when you try to, experiment with Microsoft Blue Screen. So let me start over. Could we? It's live. Microsoft helped me fail. I kind of fell with my Blue Yeti because when I play a video, I don't, yeah. So let's see now. Okay, 10 people on YouTube, LinkedIn. I'm not sure exactly how many people. The chat doesn't work, and now the sound is back. The sound is it back? Because there's a chat into my messaging, so it's kind of creepy. So really, unless I didn't read properly the guide, I'm just like all messed up. And yeah, even you see like the thumbnail to this event. So I will have to ask Krista. I don't know if Krista is there. I will need your advice on how to create better the Hello Andrew on Instagram. Maybe I'm doing too much this morning. But anyways, let's get back to business. So for those, I don't know if you saw, yes, this is not a chat. Yep, there's a sound on LinkedIn now. Good. And I see there's 5 people on LinkedIn, 10 on YouTube, and I don't know, 5, 6 on Instagram. But as I said, Instagram, you are the backstage. I will pay attention in my best viewership experience in on my YouTube channel, my growing YouTube channel. And we are right now 400. It's amazing. So the road to 500, it still continue. So we keep growing from people all around the world, Central Europe, Northern Africa, Brazil, and so on. So we'll probably need to have multiple way of grading people into this magnificent experience. So as I said, LinkedIn is on beta mode. So I have to switch screen to see your message. And to thank Stéphane Leblanc, who passed away, I think yesterday. I knew it, like someone pinged me, messaged me about it very late last night. So I was shocked because he was one of my mentors. He helped me a lot. Going through incorporating conscious leadership into my executive coaching and bringing this business agility to a better way of bring organization, people, and team with these things. And today, actually, talking with the great resignation and building freedom at work, the topic is kind of weird and bizarre. It's really in line with this. So for those who just joined, maybe I'll play the clip again. Should I play the clip again? Or you rewatch it? I don't know, because we have a lot to talk about. I tried to make it into 1 hour. It's 12:12 right now. I love those numbers. I keep saying them. Like just today, I've seen 8:08, 9:09, 10:10, 11:11, and now I see 12:12. So I don't know if it's Stéphane telling me goodbye. Maybe it is, maybe it's not. So tell me in the comment below if you believe in the supernatural. I'd like to do also a quick announcement. It's going to be into the link in the description of the YouTube video to subscribe for free to the Open Coaches Circle that is going to be next Wednesday. It's an hybrid one. I could wait for about 4 or 5 people at the Crew Collective. And the Zoom will be open, of course, for those who are remote. And it's pretty open. It's an open coach circle. So you bring your question and we exchange. We help each other about anything that touch your Scrum Master, coaching, product ownership, what have you. It's there for you. It's about 2 hours. It's free. It's fun. It's the 5th experience that we're going to do today. And again, if you want the best viewership experience, the best interaction experience, and now I see people are chatting, I'm going to go in the chat at the end of the show, if you don't mind. So subscribe to my YouTube channel, hit the bell, and we are going to share a lot of our passion about the workers' expression. So what happened? Why people all of the sudden talked about the great quit and the great resignation way before the COVID that was existing, by the way. So I say hello to Cynthia, hello to Maurice, hello to Emmanuel, hello to Ganesh, hello to, and by the way, yes, my 400 subscriber, and now I'm at 402. That was Gache. He win a 1 hour coaching for free from either the FLEP program, my Freedom Lifestyle Entrepreneur program, to become an entrepreneur, to become your own, and show up in the world with the greatest, how could I say that again? Oh my God, I'm so excited, and I have mixed feelings, because to tell you the truth, authentically, it's my third mentor in 3 years that I lost, and the community also is losing someone very, very important. So, anyways, I'm sorry about that. I'm kind of disgracing a little. So let me get back with you. Quality of presence. I'm so happy you joined me. It's the 39 episode. I was doing it only on Instagram and YouTube before. Now I decided to because LinkedIn invited me to his beta time of live stream and event stream. So, and I like to share my passion of business agility, SCRUM, cryptocurrency, decentralized everything, not just decentralized finance. And today, as I said at the beginning, we should ask 2 questions to the elephant in the room. One is about the work from home. A lot of people because words are very important. The word have weight. And when you say work from home, so it's implied that you want your worker to work at home. And what I did since last spring, 2021. So of course, the crisis and the confinement started in March 2020. And summer 2020, I was facilitating a couple of working team agreement, and having them choosing what about the remote work for those who are capable of doing this, especially in the IT and professional services environment. So you could do everything with the digital tool, such as Zoom, Teams from Microsoft, and everything. So anyways, that's a no-brainer. And even the developers, if they have a good internet connection. So that's sometimes the thing is security and infrastructure that could prevent you to totally be working remotely. Me, I prefer to say remote work, because here's the thing. As a digital nomad for the last 15 years, and I'm part of a network that we exchange tips and tricks on how to develop and secure our way of life of digital nomading. We find also countries that give you good visa for that, and so on, and all these things. But one thing that perturbed me with this crisis that we are in since the last 19 months is a lot of workers was brought to this kind of way of life, so to speak, and they say like, oh, good, I could work from Costa Rica, I could work from Santorini, what have you, where they could go before the crisis. As I said, maybe you have to check the special visa or so on, like, because you work for your client in the United States and Canada, so all the money you pay and income tax. So there's that part. But then after that, there's the COVID restriction, and so a lot of the worker were like for instance, I know a lot of my colleagues, including myself, who've been declined in my 6-9 months abroad. I've been declined a lot of contract because I was not here in Quebec. And I think this is wrong, because if you want to hire Maurice or Cynthia or Sylvia or Johnny or myself for our skills, it's a skill-based things. It's not about where you are, how much. I mean, if you deliver shit, you deliver shit from anywhere. So there's one thing I think, like the resignation start like this. A lot of people okay, so let's get it straight. Now they call it the Great Resignation because they play with the words, and there's the Great Reset, there's the Great That, there's the Great. So yeah, it's great stuff. It's a great time we are in, and it's amazing. Yes, I know it. But as a business coach and a business agility coach, and also a facilitator of bringing you my experience of 25 years of entrepreneurship to help you find your X, what I saw since 2016, they were already into the younger generation, flip-flopping. They have permanent job because they don't know better, or they don't want to take risk of being an entrepreneur. But it's like consultant, because if they want to please about something internally into the organization, they were just moving on. So they call this the Switzer or the Splitzer. But more than that, it's a culture of the fact that the leadership of those companies, they don't listen and they don't know how to to engage the employee and to make them part of the decision. This is why we speak also the second question. It's throwing the freedom of choice and also the decision rights, all right, on invitation-based chains. All the leadership could do more than delegate, because you probably need a lot more, how could I put it? You need more than just like, oh yes, I'm skillful to do that job and I will work in that cubicle for the rest of my life. No, it's not the way it is right now. So that was a part, one of the problems. So you already have switcher and a big movement. A lot of people are quitting because there's a lack of conversation. There's a lack of interaction between people. And even in the agile kind of, the shop who say that they do agile, but actually they don't do agile, putting people first. So that's the big problem. And a lot of people will cry out loud that Scrum, Agile, Lean, what have you, don't work because it's all about process and efficiency, like I showed you last week about this diagram. But today, I was just realizing by facilitating something this week that retrospective, okay, a retrospective is if a team gather together. And no, it's not. It doesn't have to be always at the end of an iteration. It could be on demand too. The retrospective could be on demand because we have things to solve all together. Because otherwise, I will say that ask your colleague help or a cafe. You could do it virtually through Slack. You could do it also by inviting them to go downstairs at the cafe shop of your building and try to solve your issue on how you tune your behavior. And speaking of it, let's go see the survey on my LinkedIn, because for the first time since I'm doing this, we had a lot of answer. I think about 15 answer, but again, it's really funny for me seeing this. This kind of interaction or engagement, because I'm gonna show you. Okay, here it is. Here is the survey. So that post every Tuesday, I'm gonna post around the launch the survey to kind of tease you about the Friday Live Agile show every Friday. So tell me how important it is for you to be part of a team, and how will you improve to help others improve. So this is part of a great value of the Scrum system. I remind you, Scrum is not Agile. And it's not either a framework. It's a system that helps you create a tailored framework based on people first, customer satisfaction, experience, and so on. So again, I don't see. Yeah, so you see 1,000 people seen that post, but only 12 people voted. And the winner is open to criticism, with 42% out of the 12 that you choose being open to criticism. Some 33% are doing introspection. Interesting. No one has hacked, even the pirate. I was expecting the pirates to be hacking. I will hack my behavior. Anyways, I put it there just for fun because it's another buzzword, hacking. We hack everything. And tune my behavior, which is one great value of the Scrum system. 25% choose that. So here's the thing. When you do a retrospective into the Agile world, the age of Agile, it's not just to blame. You have to avoid blaming the others, because as I said, you're better off one-on-one in a cafe or somewhere. Take a walk. I used to work at Le Château Saint-Ambroise here in the southwest of Montreal, and sometimes as a Scrum Master, I used to take a walk with a product owner on the Canal de Chine to actually, solving some kind of issue we have on the process, or maybe what kind of help he or she needs about this amazing, how could I say? Yeah, this amazing product that she was developing. But, so a retrospective should be focused on the process you agreed on. Yes, because there's a team agreement. A great coach and whatever you want as a framework, you should always build an explicit agreement, team agreement of everything. But this is not stack. It's not because you do it at the beginning when you build your team that you stick with it. Because a retrospective is there to replenish, to reorganize to do some kind of experimentation, to remove things that you don't want to do anymore, and so on and so on and so on. So this is the importance of the retrospective process and people first. Okay, I put it like this when I teach it to other coach. Retrospective isn't about the product, it's about the people agreement to make process evolve with discovery and learn to work together. And one thing I learned, as I said in the previous podcast, the FACE certification. Yes, most of the certification, especially into the project management, consulting, agile, PMP, stuff like this, it's mostly something by art. You read a guide and then you answer what they want you to answer because it's a conformity, it's a conventionality. Even in Scrum, by the way, the PSM and the CSM are no better. Although there's, especially on the Scrum Alliance kind of certification program, you have more and more learning path, and you have to prove yourself with experience. You have to answer some interviews, especially when you pass the CSM and the CSP. From the CSP, you are interviewed by your peer. You are confronted to simulation. So it's more practical. Scrum Alliance is a lot more practical than Scrum Org in that sense. But I'm not saying that there's value into either one of certification better. The important thing is you have to be passionate about it. You have to also be very open to others' perspective, and you built it like this. So this is the beauty of Scrum, in my sense. The beauty of Scrum is it's not just you don't just tailor it for your SDLC software development if you do it in software development, but it's nothing to do. Scrum have nothing to do with software development either nowadays in 2021. But one thing for sure, I'm doing this loop to tell you that yes, I did a certification program with my association Scrum Alliance, but I've been practicing Scrum, Lean, and Agility since 1999, 2002, what have you, type of thing. And but really, my first time being a Scrum Master was in 1999 with a team of crazy people. That was like, anyways, that could be another capsule for another time if you like. Les comptes de AF history. But and then I get certified because the market asks it, because somewhere in 2016. What you see behind here, it's my CSM in 2016 that I keep. And of course, I'm really involved with Scrum Alliance. I even create a user group in New York and Montreal, the Scrum Beer. So here you go. So, and I'm also a Scrum Educational Foundation and your organization. I have the stamp proof of it. But one thing that I've learned in the last 2 years with my great coach and mentor, Evelyn Tian, that I salute, is how to actually avoid the great resignation and building a better place of work, because Scrum Alliance, it's all about it. And the certification program is actually biting you into a network and to challenging your ways of doing things. And I've learned the DISC. And I'd like to show you what is the DISC, because I think it's not the only tool for doing an assessment and to prevent a massive resignation. And I'm going to go back after to the 3-step of resignation. And now, and we'll come back also because I see a couple of chats on both YouTube and LinkedIn. So I'll come back after, because I've learned from experience that if I pay too much attention right now, I'm going to lose it totally. So you should see my screen. What does DISC mean? So it's, I think it's a great program. It's a great tool that you have to learn for it. So me and the Certified Agile Leadership, we've learned it. And also when we talked about before, our late now mentor, Stéphane Leblanc, with other type of value testing or personality testing, but it's more than behavioral. It's getting to know within the team that you are building what type of, yes, personality, but how as a leader, not a manager, because we aim with conscious leadership. That's the thing. We take a manager who manage stuff and manage people, but you don't manage people. You help people, you engage people, you facilitate the work, so you have to be a leader for that. So we transform manager into leader. And one of the tools is beyond HR, and HR for me stands for human relation. Thank you very much. So we have this thing that we've been shown into our program to become an agile leader certified. So it's people with D personality. This green thing tend to be confident and place emphasis to accomplish bottom line results. So these are the doer, the dominant doer. Okay, because it's dominance, influence, steadiness, and consciousness. Yes, and the people in the consciousness, actually, personally, they tend to place everything into quality, accuracy, expertise, and competency. And I would have to tell you that most of the true user of Scrum, true understanding of Scrum with substantion, and substantion again is the dynamic of interrelation between every element, including the interaction with people, and satisfying your client at most. It's very lean in that sense. Cut the crap, go to the point. So most of the real Scrum people who understand Scrum people are into the C of the disc. That's what we saw into some study. And the S stands for cooperation and sincerity. So these are more empathical people, and they emphasis on that kind of need of cooperation, co-creation, collaboration. And people that falls with the I, they will emphasize it's all about relationship, very social bees, and influencing and persuading. And you have to be careful, because in the I sometimes you could have this guy's type of not Machiavellic. Yeah, maybe yes, because there's another course that you could do with a psychologist who teach coaches how to understand this triangle of negative trait, the dark triangle of psychopathy, Machiavellism, and narcissism. So sometimes the bad effect of the I here, and maybe that's why I put it in red. So on the front, it seems very nice. It seems like there's a party goer relationship. It's very, but in networking, they're good at bringing people together, but sometimes it's not always a given thing. So you have to be very careful of it. So anyways, if you'd like to know more about this disc profile, you go at discprofilealtogether.com. What is disc? And you could start learning. You have to read a couple of things about it and how you improve your teamwork, because you see you could do a lot of things while using disc. But in the topic of the Great Resignation, it's improve teamwork, okay, and make conflict more productive by tuning your behavior or introspect or being open to other perspectives, so to criticism, and how do you actually have a better communication. And sometimes the application of this and team is, yes, you could do the test. The testing is one part, but what I did discover by trying it in two of my clients into the last year is it's all the interview process and all the what action items are really out of retrospective if you are into an agile or a more Scrum mode into your organization, because you could actually leverage from your action item and to coaching the manager to become a leader, as I said, and we don't use the term returning employees, because workers just have to be empowered and satisfied in their experience at work to become actually, if they're happy, they will be fulfilled, they will deliver value, and they will satisfy your customer. That's simple as it.
That was easy.
And yes, that was easy. So let's go into the chat a little bit. Wow. Now on LinkedIn is very curious because I've got message from. So what do we have like? Okay. So Maurice is telling us it's not just about me. Often it's a mix of all the answers. I don't know if you talked about the survey or what I was saying, but we're going to evolve here at the Friday Live Agile to create probably some session, because every week I will tend to do 2 weeks in English, because 90% or 85%, I will say now, of my follower, all platform across are mostly allophone or anglophone. They speak English. So I will do 1 week of French And thanks, Maurice. And another week is the live recording of the Dare Real Agile podcast that actually, my pirates, you are invited. We could do it in French, no problem, to satisfy my 17% of runner, of jogger on the Dare Real Agile podcast. And yes, it's true. A lot of people write me that we love to listen to your speed. Yes, my speeching speed on the microphone while doing our jogging or our spinning or training. So that's why we're going to create the crew of jogger. I jog myself, and I'm listening to other podcasts such as yours, Go Pirate, when I'm doing my spinning. So yes, I sweat when I listen to you. And Go Pirate, by the way, it's a nice, very nice initiative from Maurice, who is listening today at this Friday Live episode 39. And so yes, maybe for the last 25 minutes or so. So this system is one thing. And oh yeah, well, I'd like to show you. I love these screenshots. Let me go here. Because if you'd like to go a little more, so tell me if you see my screen here. And if I do it like that, is it better? No, is that like this? No, it's not. It is? No. I'm experimenting right now, so don't laugh at me. Okay. So it seems. There you go. So you see, this is something that I, when I did my training for Agile leadership and building more conscious leadership and introducing conscious leadership into the coaching of teams and executive, both, because I'm always a great coach. I have access to everyone in the enterprise to understand its interaction again. So you see, dominance threat, it's this is my kind of note. It's direct, result-oriented, firm, strong-willed, forceful. So if you have someone in your team is like this, embrace it. But how do you match it with someone who'd like to influence? Will he be able to influence a dominant person? The consciousness person who need more time to analyze things, who are more reserved and maybe introspect, precise, how they will be alone with the D and the I. And as I said, like outgoing, enthusiastic, optimistic, I spirit. I don't exactly know how they coined that term of I spirited, but anyways. And the steadiness is about, it's even tempered, is accommodating, is probably in the agreeable. Jordan Peterson talked about agreeable. So here you have it. The CNS are more agreeable people, and the DNI are more disagreeable people. That's a kind of side effect of these things. And so anyway, very interesting things, because when you're aware of this, and especially with Ruth Williamson, that I take her training, a psychologist who train coaches, and when I said coaches here, put the qualificative you want next to coach. Of course, here we could say agile, but it was not just agile coach in that training. There were a lot of people who actually, we say coach, but it's consultant that are there to actually provide some kind of experience, their experience into other organization. All of those who work into change organization and so on, you know that it's the core of it is our ego, but I'm not talking about the bad ego here. I'm talking about like the ego that built your personality from inside, outside factors and everything. And then after, probably you've been through that if you had work in HR, human relation, people and talent. So you know the color, you remember the color: green, orange, purple, pink, and blue. So there's the neuroticisms, openness, consciousness, or resourceful, extraversion, agreeableness, and so on. So the disc is also using past kind of behavioral tests and gestalt tests in psychology to actually identify how we could build a winning team using science and empiricism, and using the trait of personality that goes within it. So you have to understand these concepts to make some massive action, but they don't have to be massive, but to actionable these things. And a lot of people wrote to me when I announced that I'm going to talk about the Great Resignation, and because a lot of people still see Agile for software development only. That was true for the manifesto. The manifesto was built. The real title is not Agile Manifesto. It's the Manifesto for Agile Software Development. And the Scrum Lean System, with the book of Ken Schwaber and Mike Beal, it's titled Agile Software Development. So a lot of people are stuck in the past of this emulation of sports into software development. And of course, you have the BDD, and TDD, behavioral driven development and test driven development. That actually, you will be surprised, but a lot of those teams of engineer, we talk about software engineer and programmers, that actually they do into the machine how they build their team. They will build their team with most of the time these other type of things. But no, you have to understand that now we coined the term business agility, open business agility. We are going back to OSA for open space agility that have nothing to do with programming. Of course, technology, it's nowadays kind of very important. But remember, there's three pillars into any companies. There's the people that made the company, the workers of all sorts, and you have the tools, including technology, IT, and you have also the process, procedure, and policy. So let's take some time. Martin Nantel, welcome to the Agile Lounge on YouTube. I'm glad, and let's go see let's take some message now from the chat room. Maurice, the pirate. Okay, that's curious because I'm still learning with this beta version, and it's not clear sometimes. I've been pinged that a lot of chat is happening. So I hope, guys, if you'd like, for the next 20 minutes, I could be open to interaction and some things. And actually, with my melon, I could actually invite you to jump on it. But and that could be impromptu for the last 20 minutes to talk about. And yes, I would like to complete because the Great Resignation, because I have to deliver on something. For me as a consultant, I've seen it like starting to happen in the last decade, and especially with a peak in 2016 when people start to have enough. And this is where we create our leadership, our freedom lifestyle type of program, because there were more and more people. They were asking my team and myself to help them becoming entrepreneur, because I serve with the Agile Lounge for Business Agility. I'm serving enterprise of all size, public and private. I'm also serving team within the enterprise. Sometimes team within an enterprise are calling us for services. So I'm not necessarily hired by company ABC Inc., but I'm hired by a team inside the company. Of course, the company is paying me, but it's another model. This is the next level agility, on demand, precise, tailored, and contextual. And of course, professional individual that want to enhance their career or their path for either certification with Scrum Alliance, better education with Scrum, and so on and so on and so on. So this is what we aim for, this three pillar here at the my company name in Texas is AFJ for my initial, but we also register under Agile for Joy. Yes, I make it like this because I think it's really important to put smile and love and light into this, especially in these dark times. So behavior and high potential people, because that's the thing. When you work with this pillar of technology and ever fasting market, the VUCA that attacking from everywhere, these new innovation that we built and we don't have time to finish, and it's face spacing. It's required a lot of high potential people. And this is why tools like the disk, because disk is not the only one, but I choose this one because that's one of the first that I learned lately to help leadership, building team with science, putting back empirism into the building of team and to the solving of conflict and everything. So you have to know your people by learning from them, by interacting with them, not just testing them for sure. But behavior and high potential people could shock into building team, and how we will be surprised that they quitting sometimes. And one of the survey in August in the United States, did you know that 4.3 million people quit their job for many reasons? So the Great Resignation, we identify it in the survey from the Hill and from Forbes Business Week magazine. And we'll put the link in the description of the YouTube later. So what they did is, among these 4.3 million people that left in August 2021 in the United States alone, it's a big number. And within that big number, 41% mentioned that they quit because of the relationship they have with management, or with the way it was, there was a lack of agreement on anything, or they didn't respect the contract, or they didn't respect anything like what have been told when they were hired, beside what was happening. 41% of those 4 million people who quit. And of course, in these days and age of the elephant in the room that nobody would like to talk about it, there was also the fact that most of the states in the United States are kind of back to normal. So they start asking people to come back from the work from home or to the remote work, and a lot of people quit. It's a big 17% of this 4 million that quit because of the changing policy surrounding COVID for the work from home program that was denied to them. So they choose to go to a place that they could work from everywhere, anytime, as long as they produce value continuously. So that's the aim thing. And there was another shocking 12% because of these medical procedure forced onto them. And that was prior to the announcement from Joe Biden, by the way. And now lately, why it's becoming a big subject, this Great Resignation, is because there's more and more, a lot of people in the federal government in the United States and some place in Europe, they cannot strike, especially in the healthcare systems. And you see, today was supposed to be the first day when we will have let go 4,000 to 7,000 professionals of healthcare in Quebec because of those mandates. It's been postponed till next month. But I could assure you that even among my clients and the healthcare industry and pharmaceutical industry here in Canada, a lot of people start quitting in September. Some people are going to be working in Ecuador and Mexico. Yes, because if you speak Spanish and if you're a great nurse and what have you, so you just go work somewhere else, such as Ecuador, Panama, Florida. So that's an exode. So the Great Resignation will also be accompanied by an exode. And when I was doing my services of digital nomad concierge in the Caribbean, I've seen a lot of people from New York moving into Florida and Texas, people and also their company. So, resignation, we could talk about it in terms of employment, but there's also, this matter of fact, there's also small business, medium business that will actually, yes, they will go out. They will go out somewhere where they could thrive, where they could develop, where they have freedom of movement, freedom of doing business. It's a big fact. So you won't see like big demonstration or strike, but in real life, in the objective reality, the real politic is you have this Great Resignation that started before, in line with the behavior of the leadership or the behavior of the coworker, of all of these dark triangle of narcissism that was very destroying the great space and environment into a workplace. And let me tell you that as let's coin that term for now, agile coach, people come to you individually, not just to understand a daily stand-up or a retrospective or a sprint review or what have you. More and more, I've seen in the last 4 or 5 years, people consult me on how could I actually be a better leader? How could I actually, So, and even the employee, I don't like that term, the worker, thank you, the worker, the producer, the creator, they ask questions because a lot of people want experience more over the tangibility. That's what I realize. And so if their experience is not good with the other coworkers and they cannot talk about it, they cannot openly speak about it without having someone offended or what have you. So it's cancel the language. It's not cancel culture. It's cancel the interaction. That actually business agility and conscious leadership aim to have you more, and with the value of courage and respect. So this is why, having someone to help you and to facilitate you this kind of building team accordingly, yes, to the skills and the capability of delivering something, but with also how do you manage to make sure that everyone feels safe into the organization and the team and have his place. And this is why I think great retrospective on the process for the people should help, especially if you have a facilitator that will actually bring the people to reflect, inspect, and be open to criticism, and with specific, explicit agreement on how we proceed. And know to answer a lot of Scrum Master this week that ask me in my mandate, shall we do a retrospective every 2 weeks? I said, ask your team, make it happen when you need it, to have a group discussion, especially to change your agreement, to change your process. But if it's about behavioral or conflict between people, you better be a facilitator of a one-on-one contribution. That's what the DISC system will help you in building your team. And basically that's it. And by the way, if you'd like the more interactive type of 1 to 2 hour, I'm doing almost every 2 months beside my Scrum Beer. And by Scrum Beer this month of November will be a speakeasy, clandestine, private, on invitation only. So you have actually for that, let me so on the YouTube and the link in the description, you will have a link to actually doodle me the date in November that you would like to be invited to this Speakeasy Scrum Beer. Why are we doing this Speakeasy in-person Scrum Beer this month? Because over here at the Agile Lounge for Business Agility, and especially my user group from Scrum Alliance International, the Scrum Beer of Montreal, we don't do any discrimination of no sort. It's not my fracking business to know if you had or not a medical procedure, and it's not scientific either. We will ask you though, whatever you don't feel good, or you sneeze, or you have a cold or whatever, stay the fuck home. But for the rest, there's no other restrictions. So, and we're gonna do this into a private venue somewhere in Montreal, and about a maximum of 13 to 15 people, depending of the venue. But it's on invitation only. It's not on the meetup group of Scrum Beer. It's not either on the open thing. So you have to write me or you have to doodle me. The link will be in the description, and then you'll be invited according to the date that wins. But right now, I think the 24th is winning. The day after, give thanks to Scrum and Boston that I will be actually. So that's it. So, and I have maybe one last thing. It's that okay, here it goes. So here's the circle I do every 2 months. October is the 5th one that I do. So it's networking connection, having a mindset of learning, collaborate, and the ownership of your superpower that you'd like to share. And so I'm here for you. I'm creating that space. It's free. It's going to be 4 people at crew, another up to 6 people on Zoom. It's 10 people maximum, but 4 people at crew. So it's by calendar. It's also a kind of private thing. We won't ask you your papers. You just bring your smile and you exchange. And when you register, actually, the link will be also in the description. When you are registering, you have to be ready. You have to actually put your questions or your issue or what you'd like to share. So the facilitator, whether it's Anna or myself, will be ready to help you go about this, because we want more the interaction. So we don't use any whiteboard or whatever. So we're going to use your question when you answer the calendar questionnaire. It's really easy. It's like you put your questions, you put what you'd like to talk, and this is why we keep it small, because in 2 hours we'd like to give the opportunity of everyone to actually ask the question, propose the subject, and exchange on it. And it's collaborative, helping each other. So it's learning, helping each other, and to the work of coaches, Scrum Master, Product Owner, but everyone is welcome. Project Manager, sometimes I add, sysadmin, everyone is welcome just to share about these, how could we improve our work into the business agility and Scrum specifically, but sometimes it could go a little bit higher. So it's really concrete things, because people ask concrete questions, they need pragmatic things. So that was it. Beautiful people, Awake and Agilize with AF, that's me. I hope you liked it. So I don't know. Let me do a last tour of the mini chat room. So you see, LinkedIn is not ready for the Melon app because it didn't push the show automatically as promised. And he didn't either put the chat into the Melon. So I was seeing only the people on YouTube. And for you on Instagram, again, go to the link in the bio and subscribe, hit the bell on my YouTube channel, because this is where it is happening for the best viewership and interaction experience. So no more message here. Is there a message directly into the show? Because this is what I saw earlier. Interesting. Microsoft. What have you? What have you? So tell me in the comment, what are you using yourself, whether as a coach or as a leader, to actually help resolve conflict and to also help. There's no chat here. There are apparently 2 people listening into LinkedIn, but I don't see you. So I'm open for some question or comment or interaction just before we end that show. And for those who watch in the replay, please comment below. What are your tricks and tips, and what do you do to help resolve conflict, to help building a great team spirit, and so on within your organization. And also, if you do me a thumbs down, tell me why, because I'd like to improve. So I need to know. Only a thumbs down doesn't tell me great things. So please comment about how I could improve. And I think I'm going to go to show you again. Yes. So let's finish with, again, this little clip that maybe at the beginning was not clear, to say goodbye, bon voyage to Stéphane Leblanc. We love you. Thank you so much for what you have done. And I'll see you next Friday. And remember, people, you are beautiful. You are powerful. And especially you are free. You are free to be whoever you want and to do whatever you want, and respect of each other. On that, cheers.